Hi everyone, it's Cheryl from the Lifestyle Digs, and once again I'm on the porch swing of my sun deck. And it's been kind of a cold day. It's August 8th, and I have my jeans on. I was wearing shorts earlier, but it was just a little bit too cold for that. Anyway, I'm hoping that I'm going to be able to get this video off. I have started it a few times. It seems every time I turn on the video and start recording, my landlord fires up his diesel truck, and he came back here and turned it off, thought I had a break, but then he started up his tractor and drove around in that, and then he drove it onto his truck, and then they kind of everything was idling for a few minutes, and then he's gone out the driveway with both of them, so hopefully he is gone. Anyway, I'm here today. I'm going to do a book review, and it's a book, it's a series, the Joe Tesla series. It's written by Rebecca Cantrell, and I am familiar with Rebecca Cantrell. She also writes another series, A Cozy Mystery, the Alphabet Actress series or something. I can't quite remember the name. It's A is for actress, B is for bad, C is for coochie coo, D is for drunk, and so on and so forth. And that Cozy Mystery series stars a former child actress who was like a little kid private investigator, and now that she's grown up, she's left the acting industry and she's become a PI. But anyway, that's not what I'm here to talk about today. Joe Tesla is a techie nerd. He developed some software and then he sold his company for millions of dollars, so he's quite a rich dude. And he suffers from agoraphobia, so he's got the fear of being outside. So he would never last on my sun deck here. You know, the sun is trying to come out. It's been in the 60s all day here today, and it's been kind of rainy. But it doesn't matter what the weather is. If Joe Tesla sees the outside, he freaks out and he goes into a total anxiety panic attack. Um, so where does he live? He lives in a Victorian house that is built in the rock in the subway systems of New York City. So that whole premise is kind of interesting. The fact that this guy lives underground in the subway system. You think the only people living underground are, rats and maybe the odd homeless people that can get by security. But this Victorian house was built by the developer of, I'm not sure if it was the subways or the steam tunnel system that runs also through the subway tracks. And it has been deeded forever into eternity to the fellow's heirs. And also included with that is a set of keys that he can unlock every door in the subway system, and that is also to be updated for forever and ever. So as keys get changed, he gets a master copy of that. Joe Tesla is not an heir to this fellow, but he is a good friend of them, and they have offered to let him live there, seeing as how he's suffering from agoraphobia. And he has a one of those service dogs that helps him with his anxiety. So a nice golden retriever, and the dog does get out of the subway system. Joe has hired a dog walker who takes the dog up into the parks and whatever. So the dog is not doomed for life of playing fetch down in the subway tunnels and dodging subway trains as they come by. So that whole premise itself is absolutely fascinating. That there's a house in the subway system of New York City. And just before anybody goes off and starts checking the internet, it's just fiction. There's no house that anybody knows of that is built into the subway systems of New York City. So anyway, the first novel is, I'll just bring it up here. It is called The World Beneath. So that kind of makes sense. The world beneath, the subway systems are beneath the city of New York City. And there was Roosevelt who had his own train, and he had a car, and this train is carrying. It starts off back in World War II, just after World War II, I believe, and the train is carrying a scientist and a soldier, and oddly enough, a monkey is somehow in this train car, and these guys have all been infected. They get walled in the subway system. Then we cut to Guantanamo Bay, Cuba, and there's a mad scientist there doing experiments on the soldiers that are stationed there. And one of the soldiers manages to escape. He's come to New York City, and what's he looking for? He's looking for that walled-in boxcar, and I guess the paperwork from that scientist who was walled in, and it must have something to do with the scientist from Guantanamo Bay. So it's a lot of intrigue. The soldier who's being infected with this testing drug, he's murdered. They send an assassin after him. So there's a lot of intrigue going on throughout this whole novel, and and Joe trying to stay one jump ahead of it. So I liked the novel so much while I was reading it that I actually went onto Amazon to see if there was any others that were available, and book two in the series was on sale actually for 99 cents. So I scooped that one up, and that one in book two is called The Tesla Legacy. And this one is Joe Tesla is great grandfather had invented, I guess, what could best be described as an earthquake machine. It's a metal device that clamps onto steel, and it'll shake, and it'll cause an earthquake, and it'll cause a building to collapse. And um, so he's trying to find it. This this little earthquake machine that his grandfather, a great grandfather, built. But in doing so, he also finds out that he's not actually a Tesla. He is, because his father dies, but it somehow comes out during that time that the father was actually a descendant of somebody who worked for Tesla. So this great mathematical mind that Joe's father and then Joe also had, maybe it's all a fraud, but he's obviously a very bright guy, but he just is has this fear with going outside, that the agoraphobia fear. And it also comes out in the novel that his agoraphobia he was poisoned. So something was introduced to his bloodstream that gave him this phobia. So there's this ongoing storyline, with the agoraphobia and who poisoned him, and uh, and the fact that this little earthquake machine has been stolen from him, and who's got it, and do they have it for good, or do they have it for evil? There's a whole lot of premise going on, but they're both really action-packed novels, and like I say, anything that just takes place in the city of New York, this Victorian house that's underground, and it's quite under high security. He's got all kinds of high level security, so nobody can just get in or out without knowing the code, and having keys and everything. So is that alone is just sort of the fascinating part. Anyway, book one and book two are currently on sale on Amazon for 99 cents. So, that's a great price. If you're thinking about maybe getting started on the Joe Tesla series, I absolutely recommend it. And this is Cheryl from the Lifestyle Digs, hoping you're having a good hot summer. Bye, everyone.